PetroSync Express, drivers spend less time keeping track of paperwork and more time focusing on your business. Your drivers will appreciate the simplicity of our application and the endless features that are designed specifically for the crude oil hauling industry. PetroSync Express uses a completely digital interface that can be accessed via any internet-connected touchscreen tablet PC. Our application provides an easy-to-use driver's daily log that is as simple as a push of a button at arrival and logging mileage. Drivers can easily and quickly access their list of pickups for the day in a snapshot view. Operators are automatically updated when the load has been picked up or rejected. Let's take a look at the driver's task user interface.
When a driver first logs in, they will see the main driver screen. Notice several of the buttons are grayed out. Those will not be accessible until a driver has performed their begin day or they are in a different duty status. An example is brakes. A driver would need to be on duty not driving to select the ability to take a break. Looking at this list, the first item a driver should do is begin their day. The action will begin by building the driver's logs. So we're going to select our state, we're going to fill in our city, and we're going to select our truck or our trailer, and we're going to put in the associated miles with that particular truck and answer yes. The next thing that we need to do is look into our driver's log. We have to do our vehicle inspection. On this inspection screen, we have both the truck and the trailer. We can drop down the list and we can select items that are defective, and we can add those items to a list. If we've added items to this list, we'll need to select that these items have been corrected before we save and begin to drive the vehicle. If there was nothing to correct, we'll make sure that our conditions are checked and we will save, and we're back onto the main screen. Then we'll use a tire check and say yes so that we can prove that we have completed the tire check. If you would like, you can print a test page from here, do your fuel stop, or you can edit and view your driver's log. Once completed in this screen, you'll use the back arrow. This takes you back to the main driver's screen. Now notice that each of these items can be accessible because you're on duty not driving. We'll go into the Run Ticket Schedule screen. This screen will display all of the open tickets that a driver needs to complete an action against. Over here on the left-hand side, we have the ability to select that particular ticket, the contact information. If the contact was entered when the add pickup load was done, you would be able to click on this and see the contact for the operator. Drop. This is where you can drop a ticket if you don't have time to get to that load. We'll go ahead and select this AH00083 ticket. Once in here, notice my screen. I have arrive at the well, measurement. I can't take any measurements because I have not arrived at the well. If you needed to take a photo for rejection, for bees or a locked lock or something, you could do a photo. Details, you can click on the details and see the details of the ticket. Directions, if you needed directions to that particular well, or if you needed to print out your measurements, you could do that once they're entered. First, we're going to arrive at the well. Here you're going to need to enter your mileage when you arrive. Once you have arrived, now you can come in and put in your measurements. We're going to go ahead and put in some measurements for this particular property. Notice everything's going to be calculated over on the right-hand side. If it was a handwritten ticket and we were doing it after the fact, I could put in the handwritten ticket number. I'll save that information. We validate everything on the screen. If you realize you have made a mistake, before you depart the well, you can go back in and rekey your measurements. So now we'll depart the well. Yes, we're going to depart. Then we're going to arrive at the station. Notice I still can't deliver, but if I arrive, I put in my mileage, say yes, go in here to deliver. My station's automatically there with the amount of barrels on the truck. I hit save delivery, it's there. I submit, confirm. That information has already been delivered now. So we are complete with that ticket. Notice there's only 3 on my list, whereas before we had 4. That 1 is complete. So if I wanted, I can come back to my main screen. I can't reprint right now, but if I go to on duty, not driving, enter my information because I'm going to switch to the on-duty not driving status. Now I can reprint the ticket. Notice that ticket that we just did is out here for reprint. So we could click on it and then we could print that ticket out. Hold this over here. There's the information on that ticket. So I'm back to my main driver schedule screen, and I could go in and pick up another load. One of the other nice things we have in the system is if you have a load on the truck and something happens to your truck where you need to offload that, we can offload that ticket to another driver. So we can come up here. If you had information with that delivery on the truck, you would choose the new driver, the new truck, and the new trailer and get that information onto someone else if your truck broke down. Taking a break, we can start a break. We can change our signature in the system. We can do messages back and forth with dispatch. You can see your directions. And then the other step, of course, would be to end your day. Once you end your day, we're going to come in, we'll put in our mileage for the day. At the ending odometer, we'll choose our city. If you did any out-of-state miles, you can put that into the system. And you can also put in all of your fluid levels for the end of the day. So I'll do save and end day. And then once I do that, that'll close me out of the system and end my driver's log.
You can assign a driver a role of driver gauger or of just gauger. He actually has the ability to switch to driver. It will tell you that there are unsaved changes. If you say yes, it will bring you actually up to a driver screen where he can haul loads for the day. Or if he is just a gauger performing a gauger functionality, he can switch back to gauger. Once again, it will tell you there are unsaved changes. And it will take you back to the gauger screen so he can perform his functionality there. The things he has an option for are gauger tickets, signature, reprint tickets, TTG tickets, and to log out. But we're going to do a normal gauger role here. He's arrived at a well and he can click Add Pickup by pressing this button. And then he can actually select a station. He can select an operator. And once you select an operator, it does a drill down for the next field, where it will only allow you to see wells or units that are tied to that single operator. Once I select the well, it will default to meter, and I can actually go in and enter meter information. Observe gravity, observe temp, a meter factor, a line temperature, whether it's compensated or not, an opening meter, and the closing meter field is optional. If you are opening the gauge for that day, going to come back later that evening or tomorrow to close out this ticket, at this point I could just do save and it would be available on all other as well as your self-gauger tablets so they could close tomorrow. Or if I know my ending gauge, I can actually go in here, input an ending gauge, and when I do, it actually calculates the net removal. These net removal are true net removal. These are not estimated. They are taken against tank strappings, and so this would be what is paid out through your revenue system as the true net barrels. If I have a handwritten ticket, I can mark this field and it brings these fields where I can input data into them, such as handwritten ticket number, well arrival, pickup date, run ticket date. In this example, I'm not going to use that. I'm just going to do save and print. The system does utilize oil field time of 7 a.m. to 6:59 a.m. as your run ticket date, and it calculates that to determine your run ticket date. This is the ticket that would be left for the operator at that well. So we're going to close that out, and now I do have the ability to go into a reprint ticket, open up that ticket that I just did, and once again I can bring up that ticket and reprint it as many times as I need to. Now another functionality we have as a gauger, and I'm just going to go back to the gauger ticket screen, is to add a picket for a true run ticket. So I'm going to go back to my station. I'm going to pick an operator, and I'm going to select another well. And when I do, I'm going to select tank. Now when I do, this tank field becomes active, and I have to go select which tank I would like to input data for. Once again, I can do the observed gravity, the observed temp, the high and low temperatures, feet and inches and quarter inches. If there's a seal off, I could input that number, and I can come over and enter the lower gauges as well. And if there was a seal to go back on, I could input that information. Now, once again, you've seen as I input the data, this is a true net removal calculated again for me using the algorithms as defined. I can once again mark it as a handwritten ticket if I need to. For some reason I had to do a handwritten ticket. I'm going to remove that in this example, and I'm going to save and print as well. So once again, we're going to get a run ticket that would be left for the operator at that well. It has all the pertinent information that they would need for that run ticket. Now, the other functionality the gauger could do is go in and actually input a signature for his run tickets to have. He can reprint those tickets like we talked about a moment ago, or he can enter a TTG ticket. So once in your TTG, he can add tickets again, come in and pick my delivery station. He can select an operator again. We'll go back to the same one we used, and he can select a well. We'll use this one. And once again, he enters his observed gravity, his observed temp, the total number of barrels, and it does make the correct calculations to make this a net remove number. He can do seal off and on again if he'd like, and enter the handwritten information if that was necessary. I can do save and print at this point, and it would come up with a ticket that I would leave at the station at this point since it is a TTG ticket.
Timely, accurate driver's reports, more efficient fleet management, and paperless driver's logs and tickets. These are just a few of the many powerful features that make PetroSync Express a revolutionary product for the crude oil hauling industry. Want to find out more? Call Avatar Systems today.